Welcome, everybody. I don't have to tell you, it's been a long year. At the start of it, we walked all over the campus and put down markers and stickers for keeping the most huggable people in the world 6 feet apart and 2 students per lunch table. At this point, most of the markers are peeling up and wearing away in nature, and it feels a little like our campus is growing back all over it after a long year. This winter, I started driving the classic Suburban wagon again, the gift of Bill Owens 30 years ago. It has so many coats of metal flake blue paint on it now that a car magnet no longer sticks to it. But like our school, it has moved into the vintage status, so people give me shakas driving through Swami's. Some of my favorite memories are cruising with the kids in that car. Just cruising with the stereo on, playing Scott or Vanessa's mixes on cassette tapes. Big Hands, I Know You're the One. The Low, Low Rider rides a little lower. I remember the time I let Leslie drive it down in Baja. Won't go there. That Suburban wagon's given a few driving lessons, and it's still rolling. One of my favorite formative memories occurred one morning, the first or second year of the school. I was teaching English Lit and forgetting myself, going on and on about how great the plot and the theme were, or internal conflicts or something. I don't remember what we were reading, but here's a story I do remember. I was going on, and Taria, in 10th or 11th grade, raises her hand and says, "I don't want to hurt your feelings or anything, Stuart, but we all think this is really boring." In the next moment, I didn't have time to think that I could never have said that as a student, or that in my previous nearly 20 years of teaching in other schools, this could not have happened, or that at most schools, Taria would have been met with judgment and discipline. I didn't think any of this. I think in that moment, my entire intentions were shifting about what a teacher was anyway, shifting from completing curriculum and giving grades to just being present for my students, to really hear. It was like a shift from a teaching career to a teaching life. And since that time, I'm 100% certain that the idea of whether our school was being successful or not, successful, has never occurred to me, because we knew we couldn't fail. If we just listened to kids, this was the information we needed. This was my Tolstoy. And so here are the words I heard coming out of my mouth back to Taria. And I'll say it to her again, my whole response. Thank you. The honesty of the innocent is the most valuable wisdom on earth. Special thank you to Taria and to the 90s alumni who are here tonight. Leslie, Paul, Aaron, Amanda, Audrey, Sarah Z, Sarah, Lindsay, Brandon, Tom and Becky, and others here. Did you know you were the greatest teachers I've ever had? Today's Grauer teachers are not only a whole lot less boring, they take enormous delight in the voices of students. That's where we get our stories and our wisdom. I never had a vision beyond listening to kids, listening to teachers, listening to kids, or trying to develop better empathy for what all of them are going through. So this is what we are endowing. Our legacy is teachers who do this at the legendary level. At this milestone year and event, we have a number of teachers who are moving into the legendary status, who in the 20 years since the 90s have changed a whole generation of student aspirations. Dana, Don Kish, Miho, Stefan, Chris and Tracy Aarons, Audrey and Sally, who were dyed in the wool, all people of the 90s who embody our values. Now we see the shiny, happy, beloved Clayton Payne and Jesse moving into this 20-plus year Legends turf, and a posse of other renegades on their heels. And we honor the legendary givers of the 90s tonight, including Bob and Pam Bowie, the amazing David Meyer and Liz Ecke, and always the late, wonderful Joan Canute, whose final bequest on earth endowed this land. Endowment rewards perseverance. The core value of our legends have modeled. Endowment is permanent. It pays out forever. Someday our school will pass the $20 million endowment mark. And if you doubt that, I'll show you a picture of this campus when it was 100% coastal sage scrub. Just as we are here to honor 1991, we're equally here tonight to honor 2041 and 51, our real work. This has been a tough year, but we've never lost sight of what is important or what we envision. To riff off Margaret Mead a little, never doubt that a ragtag bag of renegade teachers can change education if they persevere. Indeed, this is the only thing that ever changes it. Thank you for turning out tonight. Thank you all. Thank you.